Okay. First things first, I will address the elephant in the room. Yes, I'm filming this video in another new location, and I'm sorry about that, okay? In the Rusty Steels video, I was in a new room. In the Garfield video, I was on the other side of said new room. And now, I'm in a completely different building entirely, as I have moved. And given that I have just moved, there are boxes and shit everywhere. And I have no real set to film this video on. But given that you're watching this completed video, there's a very good chance that I just said, f it, and set up the camera somewhere in my new house. So I guess for this season of What's on the Shelf, every video will be in a different location. And hopefully, by next season, we'll have a new, different, permanent set. And given that I'm filming this video about a month into Trump's new administration, no, I'm not bringing back 3 men, a crocodile, and a baby. Let's talk about someone who has had a very long career, but these days also makes their living bitching about Obama, wokeness, and trans people. Ray Stevens.
What's on the shelf? 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 What's on the shelf?
Born Harold Ray Ragsdale in, Jesus Christ, 1939, Ray Stevens started his career in music in the early 60s with his debut album, 1,837 Seconds of Humor, featuring Ahab the Arab. No, I'm not joking. The music video for Ahab the Arab is included on this VHS set I have and was produced way after the song's initial release in 1995.
He wore a big old turban wrapped around his head, scimitar by his side. And every evening, about midnight, he'd jump on his camel named Clyde.
Okay, I mean, it could be worse. At least he didn't do blackface, right? That's a positive. Another positive is that the song is catchy. But for a song called Ahab the Arab, there are shockingly few actual Arabic people in this video. And by shockingly few, I mean none. Anyway, Ray does comedy novelty songs. That's kind of his thing. Few of which I'm actually very nostalgic about, as growing up in the South, child me loved Ray Stevens for some reason. Yes, 6-year-old me loved listening to an old bearded man sing about how he was too drunk to fish.
Just leave that fool at home to drink. He was just as happy fishing in the kitchen sink. Don't go near the water with a man too drunk to fish.
Yes, hits like Mississippi Squirrel Revival, a song about a squirrel jumping up a fat lady's hoo-ha.
She jumped to her feet and said, Lord, have mercy on me. As that squirrel made laps inside her dress, she began to cry and then to confess to sins and make a sailor blush with shame.
The Streak, a song about a naked guy running around with his hoo-ha out.
Here it comes.
Boogie that, boogie that.
Here it goes.
Boogie that, boogie that.
And he ain't wearing no clothes.
Oh, yes, they call him the Streak.
And hell, even Juanita and the Kids. A song and video about gaming the system to get a huge tax return each year by marrying a blow-up sex doll, raising like 15 Cabbage Patch Kids as actual children, claiming all of these dolls as dependents, and blackmailing an IRS worker. These were among some of my favorites, and only a few of which contain Ray doing terrible accents.
Oh, Juanita. My inflatable senorita, the IRS wants to take Joe and the children away.
But this was just the side of Ray Stevens that I grew up with. See, I was used to Ray Stevens singing comedy songs that all sounded very, very similar. However, once I got older, I realized Ray also dipped his toes into the Christian music pool in the 70s, releasing a few albums, but none of which even hold a candle to my absolute favorite Ray Stevens song.
Turn your radio on.
Oh, yes, turn your radio
And listen to the music. Turn your radio on.
Oh, yes, turn your radio on.
And before you even say anything, no, I'm not religious, and yes, I know he didn't write it, which is probably why it's his best song, and is also probably why it was my #1 most streamed song last year. I still can't believe that shit. But now let's get into the real reason I wanted to make this video during these very tumultuous times. In the early 2000s, after 9/11, Ray Stevens started getting political with the release of Osama Yo Mama. Yes, you heard that right. Osama Yo Mama.
And I can hear your mama saying now,
You're in a heap of trouble, son. Now just look what you done.
For someone who would rail on trans folks a bunch in the future, Ray sure does love to dress in drag. Oh, but it's for comedy. Shut the f*** up. This man got his nails did for this.
I can just hear W saying,
You in a heap of trouble, boy. And I don't think you will enjoy.
Is this intimidating cowboy guy supposed to be George W. Bush? Because it's a terrible impression. We remember this guy, right? No effort. Like, same for the chroma key work. I'll say the same thing I said in the Rusty Stills video. I made that looked like this when I was 14. This is a fully grown man making that looks like this and saying, looks good, let's release it. It's like the production quality just took a huge dip. Compare this to the Ahab the Arab video we watched earlier, and it's night and day. That video had sets, actors, lighting. This video has Ray in different costumes in front of a green screen. And this is how all of his future videos will be. Ray in front of a green screen making stupid faces. Anyway, this video's bad, and Ray's huge melons are also bad. But in comparison to like what we're about to look at, this seems like high art. What we're about to look at makes shooting a little cartoon Osama bin Laden in the asshole seem tame. What I'm talking about is when an elderly Ray Stevens went full-on Fox News in 2008, when that socialist, communist monster Obama got elected. Ray and all these other conservatives went bat insane because there was a new conservative boogeyman, Obamacare, or as we know it today, the Affordable Care Act. Republicans were terrified of Obamacare simply because the people on Fox News and a bunch of other conservative talking heads told them to be. As Ray so eloquently puts it in this verse from his 2009 hit, We the People.
We've heard from Hannity, Beck, and Limbaugh what you got in mind for Grandma. And we found this O'Reilly fella on Fox. Please tell Nancy Pelosi we're gonna do the hokey pokey. Put the right ones in, pull the left ones out.
I feel like I'm watching a music video written by those old dudes that have breakfast at McDonald's together every morning. In a sense, I am listening to one of those grumpy old men. Because with this video's success, an aging Ray Stevens decided the only way to continue on in music was to start grifting and just ranting about all the stuff conservatives love to rant about. Because from like 2009 on, that's what he did.
Hi, this is Ray Stevens with a public service announcement.
I can't wait to hear this one, Ray. I can't wait.
I just want to encourage everyone to go vote in this important upcoming election. But keep your eyes peeled and your feelers out for voter fraud.
Ah, yes, another conservative boogeyman, voter fraud. And this was way back in 2012, so Republicans have been holding on to this one for a while. Of course, only when they lose. When they win, the elections are 100% fair. But when they lose, oh boy, it was 100% rigged. And Democrats were casting votes for dead people.
Grandpa voted Democrat, and our family ain't proud of that.
See what I mean? It's just him in front of a shitty green screen every time.
Now we're wondering how he cast it from inside his casket.
I love the hand popping out of the casket with a little piece of paper that says Democrat. Because that's how voting works. Every time I've ever voted, I write my choice on a little slip of paper. And then, give it to the poll workers. Sometimes I even draw a little squiggly border on it just to be quirky. Not sure what the Black Panthers there have to do with anything, but I'm sure they're not just here to give white people a scapegoat so they can say, voter fraud, it was the Black Panthers. Anyway, on to another critically acclaimed Ray Stevens hit, all about the horrors of Obamacare.
We will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan, period.
So this whole video is just going to be making fun of this soundbite from Obama. But will it be made fun of in an intelligent way? Like, I'm sure that Ray Stevens has some very insightful commentary on President Obama's promise to the American people.
The unaffordable health care plan is far too complicated. If you like your plan, you can keep your plan. You can keep your doctors too. Obamacare each and every year gonna save lots of money for you.
That's not even like a ridiculous thing to say. Like, why is he trying to act like that's some fucking stupid clowny statement? He's heard Trump say way more ridiculous shit than that, right? But I'm sure he has a song about that. Oh yeah, he doesn't. One of the most objectively ridiculous presidents in American history. And Ray's just quiet about all the shit that he said, but holy shit. Obama said that if we like our healthcare plan, then we'll get to keep it? What a clown.
Well, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. You can keep your doctor too. Obamacare each and every year gonna save lots of money for you.
Let's see. Now, what other seemingly normal actions taken by President Obama can we misconstrue as something evil and clownish?
Well, you may have swung the hammer. You may have poured the slab. You may have put in all your time, muscle, brains, and sweat. But when it comes down to it, the way Obama sees it, you poor deluded jerk, you didn't build that.
So we're taking a literal 5-word quote and using it without any context to make it seem like Obama is discrediting the hard work and dedication of business owners. But that's not what he was saying, Ray.
You scatterbrained moron.
See, this quote is taken from a rally in 2012 where Obama went on a long riff about how even super successful people have benefited in some way, shape, or form from either other people or the government. And turns out that the "that" in "you didn't build that" was referring to infrastructure like roads and bridges, not businesses. So either Ray wrote this so-called song knowing that he was taking this bit out of context to fit his agenda, or he's genuinely just a
Poor deluded jerk.
The complete comedy video collection. Order yours today.
Folks, I got a news flash for you. It's the news in New Mexico, New Orleans, New York, New Hampshire too. McDonald's new country style McChicken sandwich. It's unanimous in Washington for special country seasoning. In Alaska's chill or Miami's heat, they love that all-white breast meat. Yeah, it's Coca-Cola and a hot McChicken for the country taste the whole country's digging. This just could make McDonald's famous. New country style McChicken at McDonald's.
Ray Stevens from Spotify.
I'm Ray Stevens at a Flavor Rich family get-together. We're saying goodbye to the old Flavor Rich package and hello to the new. Now Flavor Rich freshness comes in fresh new packages with our new family crest. A promise of freshness from your local Flavor Rich farm family. So get Flavor Rich freshness, fresh new packages. Flavor Rich, freshness from our family to yours. I saw an American on TV get his head cut off last night.
Well, what exactly is this song about?
And then our president came on TV and gave us a report. And then he hurried off to play a round of golf at a fancy resort.
For real?
As we see Nero fiddling while Rome burns.
Okay, this is just like fake deep. Ray wrote this one thinking it was going to be like this deep-ass song, but it just sounds stupid. This is stupid. This is supposed to be Obama dressed as Nero fiddling while America burns in front of him. A problem is, we know it's just you, Ray. I wonder why you have no black companions that would be willing to turn their back to the camera and pretend to be Obama. It's probably because of the shit you make, and probably because you're an old dog-whistling racist. Yeah, that further explains the Black Panther picture from earlier.
But to folks who pay attention,
The folks who pay attention? Who? Ann Coulter? That brilliant mind?
I once thought Pete Davidson was just like Obama, a biracial goofball who ruined a once beloved institution, but it turns out I was wrong. Pete's not biracial.
good one.
And
If you're thinking about illegal immigration, be careful when you're choosing the nation, because breaking the law in some countries is frowned upon. Imagine that.
I don't need your smug old condescending ass telling me as a white man how you think immigration works. But please, go on.
Sneak into China, they'll call you a spy and ship you to Mongolia till you die.
I don't know about that, but hell, I probably know as little about immigrating to China as Ray did when he wrote this line. The difference is, I'll admit it.
No need to worry about the Constitution. We'll help you start a house of prostitution.
No thanks.
Come to the USA. There's no penalty to pay should you get caught illegally immigrating.
Ray, can you just cut it out with the political takes? Did you write any songs around the early 2010s that didn't solely revolve around Obama? Oh no.
Taylor Swift is stalking me.
She's a little Lolita. She's a husband. She's a track.
As you can probably tell, in this video, Ray got some ladies to act as background singers, and they also have little quippy lines that they interject in between Rays. All these lines revolve around describing Taylor Swift. She's a little Lolita, she's a hussy, she's a tramp. Okay, a lot to unpack here, and I'm not 80 years old, so what the f*** is a little Lolita? Okay, I googled it, and I guess this is a little Lolita. Their next little interjection goes as follows. Makes Delilah look like a Girl Scout. Yeah, she's a vamp. Now, after a couple of listens, I realized that they're referencing the Bible story about Samson and Delilah. You know, the one where she cuts his hair and takes his power and all that shit. But upon first listen, I thought they were talking about the Delilah from the radio. You know. My favorite, Delilah. But this song takes place in a mental institution when Ray's character is locked up because he's off his rocker and thinks that Taylor Swift is stalking him.
She's probably in the backyard now, up in that tall pine tree, with a pair of night vision goggles focused right on me. I swear.
Okay, I gotta admit, this is a new low for Ray's visual effects. They just have a picture of Taylor Swift and are holding up binoculars in front of her eyes with the intention of it looking like Taylor Swift is looking through the binoculars at Ray and stalking him. 10 out of 10 for creativity, 0 out of 10 for execution.
I told her I knew you were trouble. After all, you're just 22. She said you belong to me, and I'm only me when I'm with you. I'm writing songs about you, she said, and she even wrote our song. Then she turned me and said, no one's as cold as you, when I told her I was moving on.
I wonder how the Swifties feel about this music video, or if they even know about it. I bet they would tear this old man apart if they did. Maybe I should just tip them off in the Swiftie subreddit. I assume there's a Swiftie subreddit.
Well, this is really happening. I'm being stalked by a superstar. She said that our love story has put tears on her guitar. Her face is all over my TV screen.
So all that this song is Ray Stevens using the name of someone who's way more famous than him to generate clicks and views. That's literally all it is. I do have to say though, at least there's kind of a joke there. You know, with his other 2010s videos, he's just ranting about Obama and calling it a joke. This Taylor Swift song actually has a premise, and for that, Ray, I salute you. With that in mind, let's move on to some of Ray's more recent comedy video releases, starting with Hoochie Coochie Dancer from 3 years ago.
Oh, I brand new girlfriend. She's hot from head to toe. She's a hoochie coochie dancer in this carnival show.
There's not much to talk about with this one. Essentially, Ray goes to a carnival with his friends, one of which is named Budweiser.
So I asked my friend Budweiser, I said, Bud, what do you think? Bud said what he always said, well, first let's have a drink.
And he falls in love with a hoochie coochie dancer, who eventually knocks him out and ends up stealing his wallet. Because, well, yeah, Ray, did you think she was actually interested in you? I mean, you have one foot in the urn. Now, the one thing that I will praise this still terribly produced video for having is lots of actors. I mean, it's not just Ray in a bunch of different costumes. Some scenes are even shot outside at a carnival and not on a green screen, if you can even believe that. Let's hope that this is a sign of things to come and that we can only go up from here.
You can call me an old fuddy-duddy, I guess.
Oh, well, I spoke too soon, I guess. Because now we have Ray back on the old green screen, wearing a very noticeable hairpiece, with literally the lowest resolution image that the editor could find placed behind him. I wonder what he's gonna be ranting about in this one, though.
But they threw out teaching the ABCs, added CRT and new biology.
Oh no. This song is about woke, isn't it?
Since Bubba changed his name to Charlene, went out and joined the girls' swimming team.
I hate this argument. This scenario that conservatives have made up doesn't happen. This is just another scare tactic that Republicans are using to make you think that trans women are taking over the world and beating out the biological women in every single sport that matters because they have the strength of a man. But that just doesn't happen. Do you know the percentage of the population that is made up of trans people? 1.1%. And you motherfuckers are out here fear-mongering about it? Why, I oughta.
Now, if we continue in this pursuit, we'll need to rethink those bathing suits. They've been getting skimpier and skimpier, and that's got to stop.
What's the deal with these backgrounds? Where did they get them, and why are they all so pixelated? Who edited this? A Gorg?
And now we're making him homecoming queen.
He's so fucking old. Holy shit.
The whole senior class is predominantly Caucasian. But this year, they've decided to identify as Asian.
Oh my fucking God. This shit-eating grin. He thinks he just dunked on us. That's the face of a man who thinks he just got us. That's the face of a man who thinks there are lefties watching this video out there saying, oh, ouch, he really hit the nail on the head with that one. I was born white and have been identifying as Jamaican for years now. Again, Ray, this doesn't happen. This joke is the equivalent of the I identify as an attack helicopter joke. It's not at all grounded in reality because nobody is identifying as inanimate objects or different races, except for Whoa Vicky.
It's not that they don't want their white privilege anymore. They just all thought it might help their SAT scores.
I'm done. Ray, listen to me. What kind of fantasy world are you living in where this shit actually happens? So Ray doesn't believe in white privilege, indicated by his little head shake and silly face he does right here. He also thinks that there are people out there identifying as different races to get better SAT scores.
But you know, this is working out pretty good. I mean, my wife now identifies as my husband. So I bought her a new bass boat for her birthday. Yeah. And she bought me a big diamond necklace for my birthday. It's a win-win situation. Yes.
I'm not a fan of old man Ray Stevens. He's just an idiot, and not even in a funny way. So, what can we take away from this video? Like, who is Ray Stevens at the end of the day? And how the hell is he still alive? No one knows. But I'll tell you what I do know. It is profitable to start grifting, to start bitching about Obama, trans people, and wokeness. It's profitable to make a shift and start pandering to the alt-right. It helps, some people stay relevant and make ends meet. But apparently, not everyone. Whereas people like Kid Rock and Hulk Hogan were able to make this shift and be fully adopted into the MAGA fandom, successfully snowing Trump supporters who will eat up anything anti-woke, Ray Stevens has not been as successful. The success Ray Stevens found early in his career, and even in the 90s, will never be reached again by him. I'll forever hold the memories that I have of watching the Ray Stevens complete comedy video collection as a child, and even listening to his seminal album Cracking Up in my mom's car, close to my heart. But when I look at Ray Stevens today, I don't see the guy who wrote classics with a deeper meaning like, Would Jesus Wear a Rolex? I don't see the dude who made Turn Your Radio On. I see a sad, washed up, bored, old Republican man who's pissed off that the world around him is changing, clinging on to every last semblance of fame and relevance that he once had, playing the songs that he's known for an ever-dwindling audience of fans who are themselves dropping like flies in their old age. Now I'm just wishing I could erase the modern version of Ray Stevens from my mind completely, like Eternal Sunshine or something. I just want to remember the good things about Ray Stevens, No Obama bashing, no transphobia. Just a guy who games the system to get huge tax returns each year by being married to a blow-up sex doll. A guy who has 15 Cabbage Patch Kids and claims them all as dependents. A guy who blackmails IRS workers. That's the guy I want to remember. On the big old story, a big old damn call an ambulance and a breeze bone and a bill to the car. She walk around a breeze bone up with the bony ass trying to see Compton. The industry can make me fuck them all in there, mama. I'm in the option really got. I'm in the too many options. I'm in the pass on the body of John Stack. Get your ass and out the Bible if God watching.